The next speaker, a lady you've heard me talk a little bit about her, but it's unbelievable the commitment that she has to not just the cause, but the people behind the cause. Just an absolute heart of gold for helping others. The fathers that she has fought for, she may tell a little bit about her story of how she got involved. But I'll just tell you this, bar none, we don't have a single attorney, and we've got a lot of good attorneys, so this is not anybody putting down other attorneys. But I think everybody who's been around for a while will say we don't have a single attorney in the country that deserves more credit and recognition for what she has done for especially father, even though it's a gender-neutral issue. She got involved because of a situation with her father. And for what she's done for fathers across the country. It's just amazing what she's done. So please help me welcome Melisa Isaak.
So, I'm a family law attorney. I think most people in here have figured that out now. And I became a family law attorney, and I'll get into that, but because I had a passion for this area, for making change in this area. One thing that I realized when I became an attorney is that there's a model that attorneys have. And you have a model because you want a desired outcome. Most attorneys have a model of their law firm to generate revenue. That's what attorneys do. That's the model they have. So once I started getting into this business and having the knowledge that I had that brought into it, I was kind of disgusted at the way that family law attorneys conducted themselves in the courtroom and outside the courtroom. So I looked at that model and thought of how I could change that model to make it not only better for the clients, but acceptable for me as an attorney to be able to practice in the field of law and still be okay with myself. So it's wonderful to be here with all of you because it can get awful lonely when you go back to your states, and I know that we've all felt that. And being here, being with my people, I just feel re-energized. So this is really an event for all of us to come together and just re-energize. Did the slides make it? Okay. So this picture here, I am on the far left as you look at it. I grew up very poor. We were impoverished. This is the trailer park that we lived in. This didn't have to be my fate. This didn't have to be my childhood. It was because my father was not allowed to be a part of our lives. You can see this picture. Clothes are dirty, ill-fitting, right? My sister in the middle, love her to death, different father. She didn't meet her father until she was in her late 20s, just a few years before he passed. And this is because we had a mother who did not see the value of a father. And I also add in there too, it's the late 70s, early 80s. If we think it's difficult now, let's go back to then. It's difficult for parents. My father was a firefighter, right? Worked shift work. You add all these strikes on for a father to be able to go and see their kids, get custody of their kids. It was nearly impossible to do. Father's a great man. My stepmom is a wonderful individual. They just weren't not allowed to be in our lives. So as a result of that, we grew up poor, impoverished, and did not have a relationship with him. Have a wonderful relationship now. Okay. But it didn't fill the void that I had when I was a child. Okay, the void is still there. Next slide. So I've never brought these papers out, but you know, we were in the trailer park, we graduated up to public housing, and then I graduated into the foster care system. And these were some of the papers, and I've never brought this out until now, so just a screenshot of how the decisions that one person was allowed to make, my mother, landed us in this situation. So even then, you go through the family court system, and why is the other parent not incorporated in? Why is the other parent not seen as a resource? Right? Father was able to provide, and yet somehow we end up here because we have a broken system. We have a system that doesn't value both parents. So all this said, you know, I don't say all this, I'm not looking for sympathy, okay, because trust me when I say I am no one's victim, okay? I'm a victim to no one, and I'm no one's victim. And so this just drives passion, okay? Passion comes from anguish. And you can see that in all the speakers up here. Passion comes from anguish. Whether it be you're subjected to this as a child, you're subjected to this as an adult, right? There's grandparents that watch their children go through this. There's second wives, there's sisters. So passion comes from experiencing this anguish. Then you want to make change. So when I started my family law practice, I looked at the model and I was disgusted with the model. So I would have clients that would come in, they had restraining orders against them, they had nowhere to go. Clients were put out of their house, made to pay spousal support, made to pay child support, and then they themselves couldn't live. So how do you take, as a family law attorney, how do you take that client in the courtroom and say, well, Judge, he still wants access to his children. We want 50% time with this child. Well, then the question becomes, oh, well, Judge, they don't have anywhere to go. There's no bedroom. This man is living in an RV. This man is living on someone else's couch. He doesn't have his own place. Right? So that was a need that I saw. Another need was, and we heard this up here, is the emotional anguish that you guys go through. I say guys, okay, I don't want to be, my firm does limited representation to just fathers, right? But I understand that mothers go through this as well. But where do you go and what do you do? You go seek mental health treatment, guess what? It's used against you. All of a sudden, you're not mentally stable. Don't get on medication because the attorney says, well, you can't function without psychotropic medications. So, in my experience, my clients don't want to seek mental health treatment. Even though the emotions that you're experiencing are completely normal for the situation you're going through, they don't want to seek treatment. So these were the two most pressing issues that I saw. All right, next slide. Okay. Well, out of that, the Isaak Law Firm was born. All right, out of this model that I had in my head. Next slide. So what I did is I employed a life coach. My clients all receive a life coach at no charge as they're going through their litigation process. Right? So, and he's has a PhD. Right? He was a pastor. I think that's very important to make sure someone is spiritually as well as they're going through this. So, Mr. Tim Martin is our life coach, and of course the clients don't have to see him, but they're all offered his services. How many times have we heard? They go back. These guys go back to their house. It's empty. There's no one there, and there's thoughts of suicide. There's thoughts of, what am I going to do? How am I going to get through this? And who are you going to call? I've spoken with thousands of men, and I see a pattern. The pattern is men don't say, they don't call their friends and say, we need a voice night out. I need to vent to you. Guess what she did? They don't do that. Men will sit there and they will stay inside their own heads. So here we have a man who's also been through a lot of what my clients have been through, and he is a resource for them to call for free. Get talk off the ledge, right? As long as they're clients. As often as they need his services, if they need it every day, if they need it once a week, it's free service to these clients. Okay, next slide. So the second issue we had to address was this issue that my clients didn't know where to go. So a lot of them would not get shared custody or custody of their kids because they were homeless. Right? You have a fit parent, you have a parent who loves their children, you have a parent who's always acted in the best interest of their child, yet their parental prerogative was stripped for them because they didn't have a place to go. So we'll be in hearings and say, well, Judge, my client wants equal time with the children pending a final resolution. Right? Wife might say, well, Judge, I just can't agree to that because there's nowhere for these kids to go. Actually, Judge, we have a home that we have for our client. We purchased the house right next door to one of our offices. Right? My husband's a handyman, and he regrets, I bet, saying, I'll do this for you, because we gutted this house. You could see through the walls, and we gutted it. Right? So there was a couple clients that were pretty handy. So we redid this house, completely redid. Everything is brand new in this house. 3-bedroom, 1 bathroom. That's I love the 85-inch TV. It's like the ultimate dad cave in there. Okay, so 85-inch TV, and there's board games, the coffee table is a foosball table, so it's very interactive. These guys can go spend time with their kids and have adequate housing, and it's free. right? This is completely free. We've had clients come in that were homeless. We had a man that stayed there for about 2 months because he didn't have anywhere else to go. Now, this is the thing, is when my clients, anyway, when they're restarting, $500 will make all the difference in the world. Well, I gotta go get a place, but I don't have deposit money. Well, what are they gonna do? You stay here for 2 months, you don't pay anything. You save your money, and then you can go get an apartment. You have a down payment. We furnished apartments for clients. We bought the furniture, we give gifts for birthday parties if dads can't afford to do that. So we're trying to do is change the model, at least inside family law. Because what I found too is I was disgusted by attorneys because I would see the way that they acted, again, in and outside of the courtroom. And to me, it was bar association allowed social malpractice. That's what I saw. So you said these attorneys who will stir the pot, because by the way, how do attorneys make money, right? You guys gotta fight. You guys don't fight, attorneys don't make money. So they stir the pot up, make it contentious, get in the courtroom, make sure you tell your client, don't talk to the other parent. Don't talk to them, you have to go through the attorneys. It's a complete and total breakdown. And then, God forbid, you run out of money because they will drop you and leave you in a state of turmoil. So we as family law attorneys, I think we have a duty to leave our clients better off than what we found them. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to not only give competent representation, but try to aid in the restoration of these men. Because we all know what happens. We're all here for the same reason. I don't have to sit and preach all that to you. So I have a working model. And other attorneys will say, well, how do you pay for that? Did you get a grant? Trust me when I say there's no grants. For shelters for men, there are no grants out there. So the life coach and our dad's house is fully funded by the revenue from the law firm. It sustains itself. Right? No one will tell me what to do with my life coach. No one will tell me what to do with my house that I have. Okay, I'm funding it myself. So I get to run it the way that I want to run it. This is a model. This is a model that is up and running and functional and working. This is a model that can be replicated very, very easily. You know, if some family law attorneys would just do something little to reach out to help their clients, imagine what this profession would be like. It would be so different. So we need to raise the bar on what we do as attorneys, as lawyers. Okay? As long as money is your main consideration, you're going to be just like everybody else. You're going to be just like everybody else. And to be honest, I could not do this job, and I have problems doing this job at times. I do. I have big problems doing this job. It's difficult because the law is what it is, and as an attorney, I have to work within the law. So this is my contribution, having my law firm give back some and try to help restore lives that the family court system destroys. So this is another fun thing that we do every year. We do a fishing rodeo. This pond is actually behind one of my offices. So we stock it full of fish, really, really hungry, tons of fish. So we have the dads come in with their kids, and we have a fishing rodeo. And we have prizes. I mean, when I say prizes, I mean Xboxes, brandy bikes, I mean big prizes. And these dads come in, and we spend the day before Father's Day fishing. Right? And so there's kids that have come up, and there's dads that have come up and said, you know, I've never been able to take my child fishing. This is the first time they've ever gone fishing. And just the memories that are made, are priceless. And I'm proud that my firm, my divorce firm, my family law firm, of all things, gets to be a part of building this. Right? And again, this is a model that is up and running, and it's working. It can be replicated easily. If anyone reaches out to me, I'll give them any information they need. They can take any idea and replicate it. I would be so happy. Because right now, this is the only firm of its kind. The only one. So, I'm happy to be able to do this. I hate the situation that arises that brings these clients into my office, right? Because it's never good. But Mark is excellent at networking, me not so much, right? So we all have to use the resources that we have to try to make the situation better, and that's my